So back in the 70s when they had free love, and the 60s, and then there's the me generation, sexual liberation and stuff. Your relationships and progeny don't celebrate each partner hastily. Be wary, wait until the time it's due. Know that the offspring shall all join is true. Yeah. So what's happening? Well, we don't have much theology other than the Quranic theology. Does that help? Well, yeah, don't know. I'm not into religious scholasticism, but the offspring shall all join, in all of them. Quran 52:21, where it is stated that the righteous will be joined with their offspring in paradise. All right, so since I'm righteous in doing this podcast, I will be joined by my offspring in paradise because I read the Masnavi. Therefore, I'm righteous and I'm going to paradise. Okay. Know that the offspring shall all join me in paradise is true. For they are born from acts and causes, so each has its form and speech, which you should know. Their cries arrive from lovely reaches. You who did forget us, come without ado. Men and women's souls are kept waiting. Why? Walk much more quickly to arrive on high. Walk more quickly. Yeah, he's saying that when I'm doing this jogging or walking, I should go more quickly. Yeah, there's a story about this guy. He goes to Nasruddin and he's asking him, like, where's the closest town and how long does it take to get there? So Nasruddin points to the direction of where the town is, and then he won't answer how long it gets there. And then when the man starts walking, he shouts back at him, 3 hours. He said, why didn't you tell me before how long it would take to get to town? He said, well, I didn't know how fast you walk. Walk much more quickly to arrive on high. On that false dawn, the captain went astray, following in milk like flies who've lost their way. Yeah, so I don't want to lose my way, so I'm going to stop and pause this podcast and see if there's any more chocolate. If I read much more quickly, I can finish this podcast in the 10 minutes remaining. Oh, okay. Then read it faster. The army chief regrets the sin he committed and makes the maid swear not to tell the caliph what happened. For a few days, the chief stayed in this way, but then regretted their big sin that day. He made her swear, "O fair face, like the sun, don't give the caliph hints of what we've done." The caliph got drunk when he saw this woman. A bull fell off his roof all of a sudden. She was to him more pretty than he'd heard. Seeing is more than hearing someone's word. Yeah, if you see something, it's more effective than just taking the words for it. Description forms a picture in the mind. Appearance is for eyes, not ears, you'll find. A man ask a great speaker, make it clearer what truth and falsehood are, respected speaker. He grabbed his ear. This is false, actually. Yeah, I've said before that this podcast is false, actually. The eye is truth and it gains certainty. Yeah, if you actually see light in meditation, that's much more true than listening to this podcast. The eye is truth and it gains certainty. The farmer's faults compared next to the ladder. Most sayings are this way, friend, for that matter. A bat might screen itself from that bright sun, but not from the idea of the sun. And that idea alone will scare it too, driving it to the darkness out of you. The thought of light alone gives it such fright, so it prefers the darkness of the night. It's due to the idea of your foe that you stick close to the good friends, you know. Yeah, well, I tend to stick to my good friends, and I play tennis, and I make appointments with them, and I play with them, but I do go out and play with strangers sometimes, so, like a pickup tennis, but I don't do that very often anymore. Moses, your revelation shone down there on Sinai, but too much for it to bear. Don't be deluded and imagine you can, through the image, reach the real thing too. Yeah, you can't reach the real thing by reading scriptures and books and stuff and going to church or the mosque. You have to take up meditation, I think. So don't be deluded and imagine you can through the image reach the real thing too. Men don't fear warfare's image on its own. Yeah, and people are not afraid of the war, but if they were really in it, it would be pretty horrible to be. You talk about going to Ukraine or Gaza, but it's not going to be any good. You could get blown up, I guess. Men don't fear warfare's image on its own. Before war, there's no bravery. It's known. Based on an image of what an attack is. The weak try, like Rostam, to make advances. Rostam's mere portrait on a bathhouse wall is their view of a comrade in brawl. When hearsay's seen for real, what will they do? An actual Rostam would feel bound